Hey guys, I was cleaning the garage today and I realized I hadn't reviewed the Cordova 48 quart basecamp cooler that I've had for a couple months now. Let's get started. So let's start with the pros in this cooler. We did about 4 days with 2 bags of ice and still had some ice, cold water left over at the end, and that's sitting in the car in the heat, camping. So I feel like the ice retention lived up to its promise, but with the amount of insulation on these, that's to be expected. The second thing is it does come with mounts that are considered bear resistant, grizzly bear resistant. I say mounts, but just holes to lock the cooler down, just like the competition uses. You have to purchase your lock separately, but it gives a little peace of mind when it's sitting outside of your car, at camp at night, or outside of your tent, hopefully a little further away from your tent. Another thing is the handles do have bottle openers on them, so you can actually open 4 bottles at a time with this cooler. You have 2 bottle openers per handle, and it's a nice heavy duty handle and a foam grip on it. One other pro and one thing that is marketed by them is the feet, the rubber feet on the bottom. They're nice, don't slide around too much, pretty sturdy. And as my last pro, I definitely would like to mention that these are made in Idaho. They're built in Idaho, so I think that's just awesome, and I really have a lot of appreciation with that from this company. Talking about price, I paid less than $200 with my own money. I had a discount code, and I believe the prices were a little cheaper at that time, so I'll put the current price below. But yeah, $200 with a wire basket that they sell for around 10, maybe less dollars. So let's take a look inside here. So not surprisingly, there's not much to mention about the inside, but you can see the thickness of the walls here. And this is the 48 quart model. It gives you a good idea of the depth and size of the cooler. You can also see the rubberized ring around the top here to add in that little bit of insulation along the lid. You also have a drain, but it's only on one side. And let's get this in the actual video here. And it's just a twist open drain with a rubber seal on it. I don't know if you can see this, but there's actually some tears in the threads here. That's the first time I've pulled this drain out completely, so I was not aware of that. It still works, but a little iffy if you ask me. One other item is these handles are actually pass-through, so you can pick it up by these handles instead of using the foam grip. So next up, of course, is my favorite part, the cons. The aluminum handles are actually a con in my mind. I'm not sure why you need handles that are aluminum. I do appreciate, if you forget a bottle opener, that you do have one. The problem came into when we were off-roading with this cooler. I'll show you my pride and joy here. Let's get this out of the way here. This is my Bubba water cooler. I've had this for years. We've taken on a lot of trips, and I recently found it in this garage. Thought I lost it, so it's been it's my happiest day to find this thing. But one outing with this Cordova has chewed into the handles and the sides of this thing like nothing I've ever seen before. I mean, this is all just from one trip with the Cordova cooler. And again, we were off-roading with the cooler, which explains why the damage occurred, but it doesn't really explain why these aluminum handles are here, bouncing in the back of the car. I'd say with this pass-through that I mentioned as a grip, maybe you're supposed to tie it down and you're expected to use it that way, but that's really the biggest con. The only other drawback is the wire basket. It's already started to rust a little bit along the edges here, and it's not the best quality, but again, it was like $10. The other thing is this wire basket obviously has no way to hold itself in place, so it just kind of rattles in there. There's nothing holding it. If you look internally as well, you'll see there's a space for a divider that they sell as well. Just split your cooler into two. The biggest con that I found with this is they talk about their 70 and 90 degree lock for the lid. It's actually at 90 degree. I guess it's between 70 and 90 degrees. So it's actually locking, and I'm sure you can see this lip here. That's what's supposed to lock it into place, right? So what kept happening to me during this first outing is I would open the cooler, open it to this point, and I would start rummaging through, and I would smash my hands every single time. So this is falling on my head, it's falling on my hand, and some people could argue that it's just something to get used to, you know, making sure you have it open all the way. But when you're in the back of a car or something, you're trying to get lunch out for the day, you're not usually going to have the space, first off, vertically to open it to that point, but you're also just going to tend to want to open it the smallest amount, grab something out, get your drink, and then close it again. And with the heft of this lid, it's just, I mean, it's not fun to have this pinch your fingers. The one last con, and probably a pro, is that it is around 24 pounds for this cooler. So that's empty, you're already carrying 24 pounds. Once you load up some ice in this, it's really edging toward that point to you need a second person to carry it, especially if you have a lot of drinks in here. I mean, you're moving in that back throwing out territory. So I think that's pretty, I'll show a comparison below of, you know, versus the competition, but I just felt like this was a very heavy cooler, but it is also our first like very thickly insulated cooler, because previously we had a $56 Coleman that with the right, you know, packing and use would last probably just as long as a lot of these more expensive options. But again, the ice retention of this I was pretty impressed with, and I don't feel the need to worry about, you know, ice retention in the summer months using this cooler, as long as you're going to follow the rules. You know, you want to cool it off with some ice, or just what I like to do is just have it inside in a cooler area before I fill it. You want to fill up the air gaps as much as possible, and what's given us success on our cheap cooler is adding that towel in the top to just fill in that air and just add that little extra insulation, because I feel like you lose it all through the lid. But again, my recommendation on this cooler, I mean, I think for the price, you know, you're spending a lot less compared to some of the competition. I think it's a great cooler, and I actually love the things that are kind of a drawback, such as the handles. Like, it's an awesome handle, great for opening bottles and stuff, but not so great when you have other items nearby and you're on a very, very rough road and you're bouncing around everywhere and you don't have it lashed down. I'm actually a little torn on even making that a complaint, because I think that there's probably a minimal expectation to have this latch down whenever you're driving off-road. One thing I did forget to mention though is the color. I'm going to show a picture on the website of the color. This is supposed to be their coral. It's more of an orange. It's not as matte as the website. It's a lot more of a shiny plastic. Yeah, overall I'm pretty disappointed in how the color matched based on expectation, but still a nice looking cooler, so can't complain too much. Yeah, I think that's all I have to cover, so thanks, and hopefully found some value in this.